So the whole point of this original video I was going to do was to showcase fixing this drill arm. So this was playing around with the custom turret controllers to move this drill arm according to the mouse instead of some intricate bindings. But I screwed up, and this rotor here was a regular rotor and it's supposed to be the advanced rotor, so you can move material through the drill assembly. So it had to be replaced. So I was just going to get a regular hauling ship and then connect to the drill arm and then grind down the rotor. You can see here. And I was going to replace that with the better rotor. Of course, I completely forgot that when you have an unpowered mechanical assembly, it gets all flippy-floopy, as you can see. So I put the advanced rotor in here, and I use the advanced welding mod. You also definitely use this, really awesome. It basically is merge blocks, but they disappear when they connect, so that way it doesn't get weird. So you can see I welded it up, and everything was good to go. And I was going to demonstrate this, and of course it's a giant spaghetti mess or whatever here, so it's fine. I mean, the whole point of replacing this was done, but I would have to reshoot the thing. So I got distracted, of course, because of course it did. So I ended up messing with the hauling ship that I used to move it, and that's what this is, the Griffin. So the Griffin I had made long ago, and the whole point of this was to make a ship that can haul things with the same strength of Mingler 1, and incidentally the ship I'm moving here, but with a lot less weight and with wider thrusters. You can see the thrusters are flared way out to the sides. So yeah, it does exactly what that is. But I had never really completed that ship. It had no real interior. It was really kind of gimped. So I decided to, just in the aspect of getting distracted, so I messed with it. Well, there was another instance where I was going to create a world where I was going to nerf the jetpacks. And one of the items with most of my large grid ships, as you can see, is you cannot get to them without a jetpack. So this would entice one to have ramps to get up into the ship. So I put one on the Griffin. But before I get into the ramp bit, which is really, I think, the best part of the Griffin, I wanted to do a showcase of the Griffin itself. So I did want to do that real quick, because honestly, the Griffin is kind of a very by the numbers kind of large grid ship for its type. So, and I'll get into the ramp in just a bit. So right, so it's just a standard large grid ship meant for hauling. It's going to have a large magnetic plate on the bottom. So here's the cockpit here. I am using the LCD scripts mod, so it's showcasing damage on the screen here. You can go in and everything is airtight, so you're getting air from here. There's a survival kit in the corner, so you could spawn here. There is a place to store materials there. You can go up to a second floor. You have a duct, because of course you do. You have a shower here and a bathroom here. Very important on a ship like this. And I have a lot of glass that you can see the magnetic plate inside. On the right side, you can go out into this balcony. There's really nothing out here, but just for the sake of general symmetry. Go to the back. There's another script. I went out of my way to make it transparent glass, so you have the least amount of opportunity to read anything on it. I don't know why I did that, but it looked neat. Straight up, there is access to the inventory system on the ship, and over here is the door to get outside. So yeah, very simple. A few of the little mechanical bits and bobs on this. I do have hinged landing gears, so I have been starting doing that on a lot more of my ships, so they're up and out of the way. So here I flew over to some flatter areas so I can showcase the ramp in a bit. Right. Once it's connected, you can turn that off. So I have the connector hinged out of the way, and it descends just to the point where your landing gears are, and this is where you break it off, because as is protocol. Don't worry about that, we'll fix that later. And what else? So here's the magnetic plate. This has been on there for a long time, and gives you variable depth options. So you descend the piston, and then you can change how deep the thing goes. So if you have a lot of structural material in the way, you can lower the drill arm to a better location. There is a hinge piston camera system on the back that allows you to get a lower profile looking at the connector. Honestly, I feel like this is no lower than any other part of the camera that I have in front of it, but it's fine. And I have the what are these, spotlight controllers on the ship, so you can turn it on and off and blah blah blah. So standard fare, which by extension, yeah, there's a few mods or DLCs you'll have to get to make this work. So activating the ramp, you look straight up when you go off the left door, and then it activates the ramp. I know, it's so sexy. So it's kind of has a weird design to it for the purposes of folding up and just missing the landing gear up there. So that's really what this is. And it is a lot of different sequences to make this work. So green is to extend it, red is to retract it. But yeah, this took quite a while to get this to go out there and not clang everywhere. As you can see, it just barely misses the landing gear when it goes up, which is why it's not symmetrical when it folds out. As you can see here, when the piston is extended, it just barely misses the ramp when it's folding up. So part of the reason why it looks the way it does. But I got it all sequenced. It's 3 different sequences, each kicked off by 2 sets of 3 timers, one for extending, one for retracting. I couldn't get it to do just a repeat of the same timer block, so I just did 6 separate ones. So the first set does the first hinges and rotors and pistons to get it away from the ship. The next one does another couple sets of hinges, and the last set does the rotors to extend that last bit and turns the lights on. So that's set 1, and it starts rotating midway. That's set 2, and then set 3 fans out at the end and turns the lights on at the end. So a lot of trial and error for different parts of that to get it just a little bit further down the way. I mean, but it's so sexy. Look at it go! Look at it go! Whoa! 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 Yeah, quite frankly, if you took this into combat, I mean, it's not a combat ship. If you took this into combat, any couple shots anywhere in there, and that will screw up the entire thing. But, you know, it's not the point. It's mostly just for funsies. So one of the pop bars that you can get from the cockpit will allow you to extend that from there. So either a button set right from the doorway, button set under the ship if you're standing on the ground, or a button set within the cockpit will allow you to extend or retract the ramp. Very simple. But yeah, so this is available on the workshop. The blueprint link is in the description. Either for, well, let's be honest, the ramp, or if for whatever reason you really want to get the Griffin, feel free to grab it. And help yourself, have fun. Thank you all for watching. Come on, we gotta watch that ramp one more time. Yeah, yeah, get it. Oh yeah. It is a little wibbly wobbly. It's like every other segment of it has shared tensor strength. Like if you do all of it or none of it, it is a shaky mess. It's horrible. I feel like that took the longest amount of time getting this thing working. I did cross my mind to put railings on this thing, but I'm like, yeah, nah, no.